What's up, everybody? Very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. It is Thursday night, which will forever now be known as Manchester United and Arsenal's evening going on in European football. The Reds, of course, got the result that I don't suppose we all wanted last night, but the main thing was we got through the game with no injuries. It was great to see Queevy and Kelleher, Reece Williams, Leighton Clarkson, Costas Tsimikas and Billy Comedio get some much needed valuable minutes. I mean, I really felt sorry for Queevy last night because it would have been lovely for him to keep 3 clean sheets in a row, but you know, he almost got the penalty as well. He almost saved it, which was unfortunate. But it was great to see, particularly Leighton Clarkson in the first half. I thought he was very impressive, always showing for the ball, and a good option for Klopp looking forward again. It just goes to show, I've said it to you guys before, I'll say it again, we have tremendous talent at underage level that are going to be gradually introduced bit by bit. Billy Comedio second half, bit of a mixed bag for the young man, but of course he's only coming back and he's dropped into a fairly substantial game like that. Reece Williams, I think he's a fantastic young centre-back, I really do. And as I said about Queevy and Kelleher, nothing but love for him as well. And those guys will get a wealth of experience from that last night. But look, ladies and gentlemen, as we now know the opponents that Liverpool can face in the last 16 of the Champions League, which will be in February. The draw takes place on Monday, so let's have a look at who we can face. And I've put them in the order of preference for me that I'd like Liverpool to play. So let me bring the image up on the screen and then we'll talk through it for a minute or two. Right, so as you can see, my first favourite, the team I'd like to play in the next round is Lazio. We haven't played Lazio in God knows how long. Be lovely to meet back up, of course, with some former Liverpool players in Luis Alberto, Lucas Leiva, Pepe Reina. Next for me is RB Leipzig. Again, I think it would be a good, entertaining game. Then Borussia Mönchengladbach. God, Borussia Mönchengladbach does bring back memories, doesn't it, of times gone past. And then people might be surprised to see Barcelona so far up that list, and I do understand that, yes, they could do business in January, and with the next round not being till February, they could be a bit stronger, but I still think we battered them over 2 legs. And the reason Porto was so far down my list there in 5th place is because I'm just fed up playing Porto. I just like us to go and play somebody else. And then Sevilla and Atletico Madrid make up the last 2 teams on my image there, because I'm going to be honest with you, they're both shithouse teams, and I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. They're shithouse in the sense that they're very difficult to beat over 2 legs. They've got a lot of European nous and experience about them, and they're just 2 teams that I would rather avoid if I could. So again, Lazio for me, Borussia Mönchengladbach, or who's it, RB Leipzig, they'd be my top 3 to play in the next round. Again, a lot of people talking about Barcelona wanting to stay away from them. I think we could absolutely do them. I really do. The whole club there is a shambles at the minute. And look, I'm looking forward to that draw. Real Madrid top their group, so we won't be able to play Real Madrid. Obviously, we'll be avoiding Bayern Munich and any other English clubs as well. And just in case you didn't know, the world's most expensive defender and Manchester United will be playing their trade in the Europa League on Thursday Night Football. So let's see if Bruno Fernandes and co can raise their level up to the Europa League level. And every time I say it, it makes me smile. I'm going to continue to say it because it keeps making me smile. But look, again, our focus now, ladies and gentlemen, will start to turn to the game against Fulham on Sunday. But I want to know your thoughts. If you're watching this back later on, let me know who you'd like to get in the Champions League last 16. Obviously, the Reds top the group, which means that we'll face a second place team. I've went through those 7 teams earlier on as well. So let me know what you think about that one, folks. And I'm going to keep talking here for a few minutes about that last 16 draw, because last year was horrible. Going out to Atleti was really difficult. I mean, yes, Adrian's blunder didn't really help things, but at the end of the day, we should have killed them off. They got a very, I won't say fortunate goal in the first leg, but an early goal from an innocuous corner that we probably should have defended better, and I don't want that to happen this time around. Hence the reason why Atletico Madrid and Sevilla are so far down my list. And look, people will say, Craig, Chelsea went over and destroyed Sevilla 4-0. What are you worried about? I know, but they are an experienced European side, and I never thought when I was picking 3 Spanish sides that are true that we could possibly face in the last 16 that Barcelona would be my first preference of those 3 Spanish sides, then Sevilla and then Atletico Madrid. People are probably going to want to play Porto as well. They may see that as a bit of an easier game, and I understand you. I'm just fed up of playing Porto. There's only so many times the Reds can go out and beat Porto, to be fair. So for me, Lazio, how lovely would it be? I don't know how many fans would be inside Anfield in February. Of course, none of us can see that far into the future. But how lovely would it be to have Lucas Leiva, Pepe Reina and Luis Alberto, particularly Lucas Leiva and Pepe Reina, back at Anfield and being able to give them a lovely welcome as we send them crashing out of the Champions League, which of course I'll back the Reds to do against any of those teams there in the last 16. But as I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to know what you think about it. There was some crazy results over the course of this Champions League. It was great last night seeing the Borussia Mönchengladbach players, and I don't know if you've seen this, all huddled around a phone waiting for the other game of their group to finish to make sure that they would go through. Even though they lost to Real Madrid, they still managed to get second place in the group and go through. So congratulations to them. That's a big throwback to years gone by, isn't it? Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's a team that Liverpool have some lovely history with over the years as well. The recent history, of course, not great. If you remember, the Reds cancelled that friendly that we were supposed to play with them a few years back because they were pushing a bit too hard to try and sign a young Ryan Brewster back in those days. So for me, that's what I'd like to see. People ask me about the Europa League. Don't care about it. Not our concern, ladies and gentlemen. It is class that we managed to get through that Champions League group stage like we'd all hoped for, with a game to spare. But it did leave a little bit of a sour taste last night, the whole VAR stuff. And look, people have their own opinions on it. Whatever you think about the penalty incident, nobody's ever going to convince me that Sadio Mane header down to Takumi Minamino at the end should not have stood. People can say he hit his hand. I say he hit both hands. And there's no more advantage to attacking players anymore. It's just completely gone out the window. But one thing that really got to me last night, and I've had my little VAR rant, so I won't go on too long about it, is how long it was taken for those decisions last night. It was just far too long. We could see the stuff at home, and I'm sure that they'd seen more angles of it. And yet, it still took as long as it did. And Kloppo came out after the game and started to say that he was basically somebody like myself who was pro VAR, but now he's starting to question it because of the length of time for the decisions, the, I suppose, inconsistency of the decisions. And I suppose there is almost an argument to say that VAR can at times be too perfect, which sounds weird, I know, but I still stand over my calls that it would be great to have a few ex-pros back there as well. And again, that Champions League group stage will be taking place for the round of 16. I said group stage, didn't I? On Monday. So again, make sure that you pay attention for that one. We'll give you updates on all of our social media accounts as well. And a big break of news tonight, folks, is that Anfield Agenda has started a TikTok account. I shit you not, ladies and gentlemen. Connor Crosby, in his infinite wisdom, thought that Anfield Agenda should have a TikTok account. So make sure that you have a look in the description of the stream and you'll see the link to the Anfield Agenda TikTok. And I apologise to the world in advance for what's going to be going on here, because me and TikTok, I've tried to stay away from it. It's flirted with me. I've winked back a little bit, but now I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, that we go full on TikTok. If it's good enough for Liverpool Football Club, it's got to be good enough for Anfield Agenda, hasn't it? So look, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I would love to know your thoughts on the Champions League group stage, how it finished, and who you'd like in the round of 16. Again, keeping in mind the fact that we can only play teams that came second in their group. So look, I'm going to turn it over to you guys in the chat now, see how you're all feeling about it, see who you'd like. And again, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and look forward to a little chatsy poo with everybody. I'm feeling relaxed tonight. It's not one that I think I'm going to go off on a rant or anything, so bear with us. And I do have some transfer news for later on, don't worry about that. Yusuf Purcell said, respect to Lucas Leiva, Luis Alberto and Pepe Reina, you'll never walk alone. Yeah, and I'm really good, thank you, mate. I'm just chilling today, having a bit of a relaxing one. Diogo Jota played for Porto. Indeed he did. Mr. Carvalho, yes. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but as I said, I'm kind of fed up of Porto. Every club seems to have teams that they play quite often, and Porto is one of ours, albeit usually in the knockout stages. Guys, just realised we'll have Thiago and a new centre-back for our next Champions League game, said Gunter. Yes, exactly. Well, we hope we'll have Thiago back. May even have a little bit of good news before then on one of our centre-backs. Maybe Joe Gomez, I don't know. But look, I'm not going to count my chickens yet. As I've always said, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, they'll come when the time is good. But you're right, hopefully we do have a new centre-back there as well. New TikTok account is live in the chat there if anybody wants to give it a click. Thank God there's nothing on that game. Yeah, it was frustrating, and a lot of people said to me actually, and I agree with them, we all went into the game feeling like it was a nothing game and we didn't care about it, but VAR just ended up making us all angry, and hey, there you go. So we did care about it in the end. It's weird. Wary about TikTok, said Joanne. Don't worry about it, Joanne. It'll be grand. I know what you're talking about, but I've got nothing to hide and I've got no money. So if anybody wants to spy on me or, hack into my bank accounts or anything, to be pretty disappointed, Joanne, if I'm being honest. Did I hear about Joe Anderson? I didn't hear the latest, Connor, but I did hear that he was arrested as part of an investigation into something or another. I think it was some building practices or something like that. But look, mate, that's not for me to discuss. Harry Price said, "Hey Craig, the night's boring. I'm in quarantine. Thanks for making my night better." I'm sorry to hear that you're in quarantine, buddy, but I hope that you're well and I hope that you get out of quarantine ASAP. Everybody else in the chat, Dara, Azizi, Liz Golden, our USA friends. How are you? Lovely to see you in as well. Liz, of course, Bernadette, everybody else that's in the chat. Tom Boland, another USA Red that we love to chat to. Don't care who we get, we have the power to beat them all, said Tom. Left a comment on the TikTok, said Owen. Good man, Owen. Fair play. Craig, do you know Matip and Fabinho haven't conceded as a centre-back pair? Yusuf, I did not know that, mate. That's a lovely statistic. But another thing I'm going to throw at you, mate, and it's not a statistic, it's just your old Uncle Craig's favourite opinion is, I don't want Fabinho back in midfield. And I'm going to carry on saying this. I want Fabinho and Virgil van Dijk at the centre of that Liverpool defence because I just can't imagine anybody getting through. Fabinho is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And as I keep saying, we have a defensive midfielder who is a better centre-back than the world's most expensive centre-back. And I'm going to continue to say that because I fully believe it to be true. Fabinho, to me, he just looks so comfortable there. And I know he's a central defensive midfielder. He can also play at right back. But I keep talking about this Thiago and Henderson double pivot with somebody ahead of them. Maybe Bobby Firmino, maybe Takumi Minamino, maybe Diogo Jota. I don't know. But I'm wondering. That's why I'm so intrigued when Thiago comes back to see what way Kloppo does set us up. Craig, you have to do dances on TikTok. The internet needs it. If the internet needs it, Jordan, who am I to say no? I forgot to do my usual stupid thing with the camera again. Let me just do this so it doesn't go blurry for you guys because I keep forgetting the camera settings. So this is going to go small screen for a sec, folks. Bear with me. It'll go widescreen again in 1 second. I keep forgetting that you have to do the camera settings every single time. So right, back to widescreen. There we go. Now let me just click off this thing to stop the... There you go. There's this stupid setting on the camera called autofocus, right? Which is a good setting, but you have to manually unselect autofocus every single time you use this particular webcam. And I'm still getting used to it, even though I've had the webcam for, I don't know, 3 years, 2.5 years, something like that. So Pizza Man said, Canade or Upamecano? I'll get to the centre-back and the transfer news in a couple of minutes, mate. Real quickly, though, probably Canade, from what I've seen. Again, I haven't watched, I wouldn't say hours upon hours of both of them, but from what I've seen, I think Canade for me. Craig, what do you think of Klopp's comments on an injury concern for Salah and Robbo? Again, I wouldn't be too wary of it, mate. I mean, Robbo came on to replace Costa Simicas, if my memory's correct, yesterday, who, did leave the field with a knock. Salah, look, if Salah has a little knock, we can rest him, no problem. We have the squad to do that, to rotate. That's why we brought in Diogo Jota. But again, we'll wait and see, man. He'll have his press conference tomorrow ahead of the game at the weekend, so we'll probably get more information from the gaffer on that one tomorrow. And of course, I'll be here with a late night agenda tomorrow, and of course, my full preview as well ahead of that Fulham game on Sunday. Neil Davies said, Fabinho's a great professional. I will not disagree with you one bit, mate. Liz said, I completely agree. Fabinho at the back forever. Yusuf said Fabinho's class. Somebody said Minamino flop. Again, mate, look, I'm trying to be nice here, but how can you call somebody who's still settling in at the club a flop? You're entitled to your opinion. I get it. I respect it. I disagree with it, but I respect it. Does he still have a bit to prove? I would say yes. But I seen glimpses last night that the work rate is there, the desire is there, the tactical knowledge is there, and I think that Klopp's trying to introduce Taki to a new position that may take him extra time to get used to. So what I'd ask you, sir, is to just give him a little bit longer and trust the gaffer on this one. And remember, he was only 7 million quid, so don't be stressing too much about it. Liz said, Happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. Light and love to you and yours. I am embarrassed, Liz, to say that I don't know what Hanukkah is. But again, if anyone's celebrating it out there, much like Liz has said, lots of love to everybody that is celebrating it. Of course, lots of love to everybody anyway. When will Thiago be back? Ali, it's looking like it could be the other side of Christmas, mate. But, I don't want to give anybody any fake information, so I'm trying to err on the side of caution there with that one. And hello, how are you, buddy? It's been a while since we last shared a conversation. I hope that you're well. So, Craig, bring me some cheers. Such a stressful day. Thanks for all the content. Well, hopefully, mate, we're going to start increasing the content. I'm going to start putting out a second video. Probably start going at about 9 a.m. and stuff. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be doing that live. I'll be pre-recording it, but we want to just make sure that we can keep the content flowing. And thanks to our amazing sponsors, Boyle Sports, this is allowing myself and Connor to up our work rate as well, which is brilliant. Connor's very close to being full-time now at Anfield Agenda, and hopefully someday I'll be able to get to that level as well. But yeah, look, again, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without our amazing sponsors, Boyle Sports. And if you're going to have a flutter over the weekend, or you're going to have a flutter on the games, please check out the link in the description to sign up to Boyle Sports. When you do sign up and you deposit, you will get a free bet, depending on which part of the world you're in, UK and Ireland. Those levels of free bets vary, but I can promise you, sign up, deposit, place your first bet, and you will at least get a tenner free bet. Again, UK and Irish residents, age 18 plus, and we always urge you to gamble responsibly. Happy January. It's not quite January yet, but right, here we go. So this is where everybody explains to me what Hanukkah is, and I love this. I genuinely love learning new things. So Owen said, Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday which lasts 8 days and starts tomorrow. Thank you, mate. Honestly, love learning new things, love being informed about other religions, other cultures. So yes, happy Hanukkah to everyone that's celebrating for those 8 days. And again, thank you guys for educating my dumb ass. Outstanding show as always, said Lone Wolf. Mate, it's going to be a quieter one today, but you know what, I'm up for having a bit of fun today, and any questions you want to throw at me, we'll pop them into the chat. But let me just go on to a little bit of transfer talk, ladies and gentlemen, if you could just bear with me for a couple of seconds. Let's start with the name that keeps being linked to Liverpool and the centre-back situation, and that's Ozan Kabak. It's a name that doesn't excite me. It's a player that I still don't think is a Jurgen Klopp type of player. But again, it seems though Schalke are getting a little bit desperate here, because the price that's been touted around for Ozan Kabak seems to be dropping and dropping and dropping. So we know in the summer that AC Milan put in a bid from, I think it was around £12 million, €50 million, and that was turned down. And the price that was put out there was about €25 million. Well, now the reports coming out of Germany and Italy suggest that, I think, well, maybe it's just Italy actually, don't quote me on which country, it could be just Italy, are that they may accept as little as €15 million. Schalke, a club in all kinds of trouble at the minute, obviously. They sold Weston McKennie on in the summer as well, or recently in recent history. And Ozan Kabak is somebody who, with the interest of AC Milan and with the rumoured interest of Liverpool, Schalke could well be looking to cash in on. So I will expect him to move in the January window, but is it going to be to Liverpool? My gut says no, but then again, I'm not inside the camp, so I don't know. Another bit of news, and again, I've been saying this for a very long time, but you'll start to see more and more stories, I think, coming out about this in the coming days and weeks. Shaqiri and Origi are two Liverpool players that I think could well move on in the January market. Now, people are going to say to me, hang on, Craig, our squad's already been cut a little bit short. We've been found out a little bit with injuries and stuff as well. And I hear you, and I don't disagree with what you have to say. But it was clear in the summer that Origi and Shaqiri were available as well. And Divock Origi wants to try and force his way into the Belgium squad for the Euros. Now, I want to be respectful to Divock because of those magical moments he gave us. And Big Div will always have a special place in our hearts, but I'm just not seeing it with him anymore. Every time he steps onto the pitch for Liverpool, whether it be a lack of confidence, a lack of will, I don't know. I'm not inside Divock's head, and I don't want to speculate as to what might be causing his form to be not great. Could be the fact that he's not getting a run of games. I don't know. But I just don't see it working from at Liverpool. And to me, if the right offer came in, and I think that offer would be around the 20 million mark, maybe even a few quid less, he could move on. And Shaqiri was actually close in the summer. There was some talks with Fenerbahce, if my memory's right, and I think there was a few other clubs around Europe as well. So with Shaqiri, it's a bit of frustration for Reds. A lot of Liverpool fans love Shaqiri, and I didn't get it for the longest time. But at the start of this season and over the summer, I started to see glimpses of what he could potentially bring. But then again, the same thing that unfortunately keeps happening to Mr. Shaqiri over and over again. It's just these little strains and knocks. And again, if the right offer comes in, he'll probably want to play more football as well. I think Liverpool would be right to accept that offer. And maybe help fund a centre-back in the January window. Again, I don't know what the club's finances are going to be with regards to how much we'll be able to spend, but if you think back to the summer, we had to be quite creative about how we structured the deals for the likes of Diogo Jota. It was like 9.5 million up front in that deal. So yeah, look, that's my take on two possible outgoings. There could of course be some younger players as well, but the big transfer story is going to be around Kylian Mbappe. PSG president Nasser Al Khelaïfi has said that the club have started contract talks with Kylian Mbappe, and he sounds quite optimistic. Speaking to RMC Sport about it, this is what he had to say: "We've begun to talk with Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. The discussions remain confidential, but I'm very confident they both want to stay with us at PSG." I disagree respectfully with PSG's president. I think Kylian Mbappe wants a move away from Paris Saint-Germain. I think that he doesn't believe he'll be able to win the Champions League and thus probably the Ballon d'Or, which, you know, he is a player that should be looking to go win those competitions. Then the question comes, where the hell is he going to go? There are only so many clubs that could probably tempt and afford Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid want them. Zinedine Zidane wants him. And I have no doubt that Kylian Mbappe would love to work and play under Zidane. But can they afford him? Is it the right sporting project at the right moment? Maybe Kylian Mbappe would look to a club like Liverpool and say, maybe I'll have to take a hit in the wage department. Maybe I'll have to take a bit of substantial hit in the wage department. But maybe I can realise my ambitions at Liverpool. Maybe I can go on and win the Premier League. Maybe I can go on and win the Champions League. That Ballon d'Or. And who knows? Down the line, maybe then Real Madrid come call him when he's 26, 27 and Liverpool sell him on for an astronomical fee. I don't know. I'm just trying to get on board this Mbappe hype train because there's a few stories going around in the media that suggest that maybe Kylian Mbappe could be tempted by a sporting project and taking less money. It's also important to remember he's really, really young. He still has 10, 13 maybe years ahead of him in his footballing career. So as much as I still wouldn't be putting any money on Mbappe joining Liverpool, maybe if Nike, maybe if the club can highly incentivise that contract of his, I don't know. But we're allowed to dream as fans, and I think Mbappe will move on this summer. Will have 1 year remaining on his deal. The Neymar situation is very interesting because he said he wants to hook back up with Messi. Does that mean Messi will leave Barcelona and go to PSG, which could then pave the way for Kylian Mbappe to leave? I don't know. There's so many connotations, there's so many possibilities out there, and that's before we even start to talk about the likes of Ben White, who the bookies now have Liverpool as favourites to sign. That doesn't mean anything. It is just bookies' projections. But I've been telling you for ages that Liverpool are looking at Ben White and will continue to look at him. Of course, there's Per Schurz as well, and will be linked with lots of other players in and out over the coming weeks and months. Usually, I don't think we were too active in January markets, or Klopp doesn't really like to dip his toe into the January market unless necessary. Takumi Minamino was an absolute bargain that we just couldn't turn down last January. Really impressed when we played against him for Salzburg, and then Kloppo and the players just wanted to bring him in. So Michael Edwards went out there, triggered that release clause, job done. Now, what I haven't seen any tracking of or any talk around is the likes of Pat Sandaka. Szoboszlai I'd seen linked, another player from Salzburg I'd seen linked with Real Madrid. Again, a lot of the Salzburg players probably would have release clauses in their deal, so maybe the likes of Szoboszlai, Madrid think he's somebody they could get for quite a decent fee. And there are a load of other players as well who may be looking to move on in the January market. But again, folks, I want to know what you think. I want to know who you'd like Liverpool to bring in, who you think is realistic. And that's before we even start talking about young Houlden, who my information is that he will definitely not move next summer. It's most likely going to be the summer after. And then you've got the Jadon Sancho stuff, which has gone really quiet actually, which could mean one of two things. Either he's definitely staying at Dortmund for the rest of the season, or maybe there's something working behind the scenes that that would see something happen. I don't know. And I'm intrigued by the Pogba situation as well, even though I'm not a United fan and I despise them, but I'm intrigued to see if that possible swap deal for Dybala would come about, or if Pogba would want to go back to Turin. There really is a fascinating transfer window, this one, folks. Matthew said, I prefer Haaland over Mbappe. I don't know. I really don't know, mate. I mean, let's put it this way. If we signed either of them, I ain't going to be complaining about it. Paolo Rossi, great player for Italy, will always remember. Sadly passed away, Rob, yes. And of course, would like to echo the sentiments of the world of football in paying our respects to Paolo Rossi, and he will of course be sadly missed. This has been a sad year, hasn't it, for people passing on, unfortunately. But thankfully 2020's coming to an end soon enough. But yes, of course, our love and best wishes and condolences go to everybody in Italy, and of course Paolo Rossi's family and anyone that's played with him, because he was a great of the game for sure. Rangers won 2-0 tonight, said Joanne. Yep, Steven Gerrard's good run there keeps going. Rangers topped that Europa League group, which featured Benfica, which is a very good accomplishment. So fair play to Stevie G and Rangers. And I think one of our mods over in the Anfield Agenda Twitter account suggested that it would be hilarious if Rangers knock United out of the Europa League, and it really would. George said, can't see Shaqiri leaving in January. Again, mate, I'm just telling you what the information that's been put to me. That's all I can pass on. I fully appreciate that others will have different opinions, and if you can't see him moving in January, mate, I'm not here to try and convince you. I'm just trying to pass on what I've read, been told, and again, some of it's just my gut feelings. Liverpool News said, I don't care about Pogba, just laugh at their problems. Oh mate, you know me, you know I love to laugh at United. Nothing makes me happier than to sit back and chuckle about the issues going on at United. Again, remember when he came back, Pogba, all that nonsense around, big dabbing video, and he's done fuck all at United, let's be frank about it. We need Konate and Kabak. What is the general consensus on Kabak, folks? Would you be happy if Liverpool went out in January and signed Ozan Kabak? Or do you think that there's better value or a more suitable player out there, perhaps? Share is decent, said, how do I pronounce his name? Obi Yonatham, I think. Mo was brilliant versus Wolves, said Jake. Yeah, he was, man. Look, Mohamed Salah is just sensational, and one of the gripes that I have is actually that he's not getting enough protection in the Premier League and in Europe. Mohamed Salah gets a lot of treatment, a lot of kicks, a lot of pulls, a lot of shugs on his shoulder and stuff, a lot of tugs on his shoulder. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. And I'm amazed by him. His attitude's amazing. His upper body strength is fantastic. But look, we are blessed to have that front four now that we have. I said that as well. Rangers will destroy Man United, said Mark. No, not Konate. He's injury prone. Is it Konate that you're saying there, Hassan, mate? Sell Origi, buy Ben White, simple as that. Well, to be fair, to buy Ben White, I'd say we'd probably have to double what we get for Origi. That's just my guess. But I wouldn't disagree with you, mate. I'd happily take that. Dylan said Pogba is overrated. See, this is a weird one. Everybody instinctively is probably expecting me to go, yeah, he is overrated. But when he was at Juventus, he was a different player. He really was a different player, and I don't know why it hasn't worked out, and I couldn't give a flying shite why it hasn't worked out at Manchester United, but there is a player in Paul Pogba, and this is where players like him and Neymar do my head in, because they have all the talent in the world, but for whatever reason they just don't produce it on a consistent level, and that annoys me because I just see it as talent being wasted, and that's before we even get into talking about his loudmouth agent. An armchair said I'd take Kabak for 18 million. I don't want Kabak, said Harry Price. City said, I'm telling you, Craig, Jules Koundé at Sevilla is the one. Also, Riola's had his agent, so no to him. Yes, but agents can change. Do you know what I mean? I do get you on Jules Koundé, by the way. Very good centre-back. I think he cost quite a bit of money, though, and I don't know if we have that money. Manchester City were looking at Koundé before they went out and signed the guy that they signed. So I'm with you on Jules Koundé, City. He's a very good player. Sell Shaqiri, sell Origi, sell Adrian, sell Matip, sell Oxlade-Chamberlain in the summer to fund a big player like Upamecano, MBAPPE, Sancho or Houlden the summer after. Let's not forget Pershers as well as Ben White. I did mention Pershers, James, and the only one I would disagree with on your list there is Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm actually not in total disagreement over selling Joel Matip, by the way, in the summer, because I think we could strengthen then, and he is 31, although he has signed a new contract at the Reds. I do understand where a lot of people are coming from with players that have had a history of injuries, but again, I brought up Joe Gomez's injury record, and it's not pretty for somebody as young as he is. And again, I'm not having a dig at Joe over that, he can't help it, but it's not very helpful to the squad to try and plan things out if you can't get 30 games out of a centre-back pairing. And again, nothing against Joel Matip, love the guy. Nothing against Joe Gomez, absolutely love the guy. But whether it's just being very unlucky. And the same for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I know a lot of Liverpool fans get frustrated, but I can promise you these players get every bit as frustrated as we are when they don't get the chance to play. And hopefully we'll have Chamber back as soon as possible. Opinion on Taki's performance in his new role, said Ted Higgins. A bit of a mixed bag, Ted, to be honest, mate. The work rate is phenomenal from Taki. The pressing, phenomenal from Taki. But it is, as you said, a new position that he's learning to play a little bit further back than he's used to. But I think that there is scope there. I mean, let's look at it this way. My ideal, everybody fit starting 11 would look a little something like this. Let's say we were to play Barcelona at home, and it's the Champions League knockout stage, and it's the second leg, and everybody's available. Who am I picking? I'm going Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, and I'm sticking to what I said earlier. Fabinho and Van Dijk would be my ideal centre back pairing. Again, this is when everyone's fit. Then you move into midfield, and you think, right, I'd go Thiago Hendo in that double pivot in midfield. And then if we're going to go with a diamond 4 ahead of them, or a 1 and a 3 ahead of them, that's where the questions come. Do you play Bobby Firmino? Do you play Diogo Jota? Do you rest one of them and have fresh legs to bring on later? But who plays that attacking midfield role? Is it going to be Takumi Minamino? Is it going to be Naby Keita? Is it going to be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? I don't know, but how great is it to have those options? So if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Naby Keita, and then I'd go with Salah, Mane, and Jota. I'd probably be benching Firmino at this moment in time, but with the intention of bringing him on, although I'd have no issues with Firmino playing the attacking role either. But it's a very long-winded way of me answering your question about Taki, buddy, but I'm with you. There's some good signs there, but still improvement needed. Do I think there's a chance for MBAPPE to sign, said Aaron? Probably not. I mean, I wouldn't be putting any money on it, but again, football's a mad business, mate, and I don't know how passionate MBAPPE is about winning trophies. He's spoken about it, but I don't know if he'd be willing to drop a lot of money to come to a club where he'd have a very good chance of winning those trophies. I'm just not letting myself believe, but I don't know, man. We'll find out soon enough, though. Kanade kind of reminds me of Matip, said City. Makes those mazy runs into the opposition half. Also is injury prone. Can we call somebody that young injury prone? What is he, 21? I don't know. Can we start calling somebody a 21 injury prone? I don't know. Again, it's one of these things that's open to interpretation, isn't it? Ian, how are you, mate? Our good old Darlow fan. Lovely to see you in. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this week we're going to be covering the Manchester Derby over on our second channel, Mundo Sporto. If you haven't subscribed yet, there is a link in the description. Please go over and subscribe to that if you want to join us on Saturday for the Manc Derby, because I'm going to be covering it on Mundo Sporto. And then, of course, on Sunday we'll be back for Anfield Agenda's Watchalong here against Fulham. I think our coverage will start about 4 o'clock. And as you can see, pinned to the top of the chat right now, Anfield Agenda's brand new TikTok account. I shit you not, we are going to be on TikTok. Connor, in his infinite wisdom, decided that I need to be unleashed on TikTok. So apologies to the world, but if you want to go give us a follow on TikTok, the link's up the top of the chat there and in the description of the stream as well. Forgetting Wijnaldum. I'm not forgetting Wijnaldum, mate. I'm fully expecting Gini Wijnaldum to move on at this point at the end of the season. I'd love Gini Wijnaldum to sign on a new contract, and he's not gone anywhere in January. He will be here to the end of the season. But again, my gut instinct will be that Gini moves on, although I hope I'm wrong. I hope he signs a new deal because I absolutely love the man to bits. What else have we got? From Salah and Mane, who would you sell to get MBAPPE? That's a difficult question, that, man. Do you know, I would probably go Mohamed Salah because I can see Mbappe going down that same side, if that makes sense to you. Coming in onto his left peg and baboom, or cutting back in on his right foot and baboom, because, you know, he can just baboom with either foot. But probably Salah just because of the reason I've stated and him going down that right hand side. Toepoke wants Gladbach in the Champions League. Again, let me just pull up the image for those who didn't see earlier on. These are the sides that the Reds can possibly face in the last 16 of the Champions League. Lazio, Leipzig, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Barcelona, Porto, Sevilla and Atletico Madrid, and they're actually listed there in my order of preference from left to right. So again, for anyone that doesn't know, draw is taking place on Monday, and they are Liverpool's possible opponents. And the last 16 group stage, or the last, what do I keep saying, group stage? The last 16 stage and the round of 16 will take place from February onwards. Right, what else have we got in the chat, folks? UK Beat said, Craig, overall thoughts of Klopp's decision playing key players last night in a dead rubber game. We didn't need to ask players like Salah for over 90 minutes. I wasn't happy. Thoughts? I was a bit surprised that the team was as strong as it was. So I get where you're coming from, and it did seem like a perfectly good opportunity to rest pretty much the entire starting 11. I thought the decision to take Fabinho off at half time to give Billy Comedio a run out was genius. I really like that from Kloppo. And still, Sky gave Fabinho man of the match, even though he played 45 minutes of football. And if you remember, I talked about that on my show last night, and I said he was my man of the match up until the time he was substituted. And then I wondered, could I only give him 45 minutes and then still give him man of the match? But yeah, it was strange. I expected a lot more youth in that team. I fully expected Origi to start. I expected Minamino to start. Clarkson I expected to start. And again, very happy with how he performed. Kostas Tsimikas, again, fully expected him to start. Delighted Queeving got the nod in goal. But yeah, it was a bit strange seeing the likes of Mohamed Salah out there on the pitch. Diogo Jota. Salah got himself a goal, which made him Liverpool's highest ever goal scorer in the Champions League. So massive congratulations to Mo for that one. But yeah, it was a bit strange, I have to say, for a dead rubber game. I don't know, I would have put out the kids personally, or I know we only have a certain squad that we can put out in the Champions League group stage, but I would have put out the players who played the least amount of minutes possible. Right, what else have we got in the chat, folks? What happened to Firmino? I don't know, man, he could be just going through a little bit of a dip. I don't know, that happens, but you know, let's keep supporting Bobby. And you know, as Kloppo said, he's so important. And he said if the team was an orchestra, Firmino played 12 instruments, something like that, which was brilliant. Much love from Galway, said Jack. Thank you, Jack. Lots of love right back to you, buddy. And wherever you guys are watching in the world, lots of love to all of you. And thank you again for tuning in and giving us your support. As you can see, though, top left corner, we are less than 700 subscribers away from 60k. So if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video as well. Will Liverpool buy anyone in January, said Lance. I think so, mate. I think so. I think we'll address the centre-back situation. But has the likes of Reece Williams or Billy Comedio given the manager room for thought? Will Kloppo say, well, hang on, let's wait till the end of the season and let's see how these young lads develop. We might save ourselves a fortune. I don't know, is that a gamble worth taking? I don't see the lads on the training pitch every day, so it's very difficult for me as just a fan to know, but I do think that there are quality players in both Reece Williams and Billy Comedio, so again, I will fully trust whatever the gaffer wants to do. Porto probably the worst though, said Josh. What do you mean by the worst? Is it the most difficult? No, not for me. Anyway, I think we have it over Porto mentally. I think we'd easily beat Porto over two legs. To me, the ones I don't want are Sevilla and Atletico, because they've, again, mean this complimentary, but they're proper shithouse teams that know how to grind out a result. What have we got? Let's get Mönchengladbach, said an armchair. Yeah, it's been a very long time since we played Borussia Mönchengladbach, so defo wouldn't mind playing them. Mate, if you keep putting in Fulham are probably the worst though, so many goddamn times that it's all I can see in the chat, I'm gonna kick your ass out, mate. If your comment doesn't get read out, either put your hand in your pocket, buy a super chat, become a member, or just know that it won't be read out if it hadn't been read out first time. Because I promise you, mate, spamming is one thing that really frustrates our moderators and myself, so you're very close to getting booted out there, Josh, so be a bit careful, pal. Carl said, man of the match, Craig, commentary, and I'm surprised the controllers got through the stream. Yeah, this one, man, it felt like punching the screen at times, Carl, I'm not going to lie to you. Atletico beat us last season, yes. Well aware of that, mate. Well aware that we went out to Atletico last season. Give us Atletico to smash and get revenge, said Emil Heskey. I would fancy us to beat them, but I would still be nervous, man. I would definitely be nervous if we played Atletico again. What else have we got? I want Barca, said Donald. I think we would absolutely thump Barcelona, mate, over 2 legs, the state that they're in right now. So yeah, I'd have no problem if we drew Barcelona. Yes, I know I read your comment, Josh. I read your comment because every time I looked up, there was a new one. So I just said I'm gonna read this just to make sure Josh stops spamming. Are we interested in the Dybala? No, not that I'm aware of, Mario. The Dybala and Salah swap is something that's been thrown around by lazy journalists, I think, for a long time. But no, I don't think that Dybala will be coming to Liverpool. When does around the 16 begin? February, February, mate. So lots of time to get players back. Connor said he wants Gladbach, new team to play. I want Lazio, personally, just for the Lucas Leiva reunion, because you all know how much of a Lucas Leiva fan I am. Absolutely love the lad. He is who I named my son after. No joke there, genuinely. He was named after Lucas Leiva. I think you mean Nat Phillips, Hassan Dia, instead of Matt Phillips. What's my prediction between Man City and Manchester United? 2-2 draw. United usually up their level for this game. They've surprised me so many times over the year in the Manchester derbies. And I think Solskjaer may feel that he's under pressure if he doesn't get something out of this game. So I will be covering it on Mundo Sporto, and there is a link there at the top of the chat and in the description if anybody wants to subscribe to our second channel. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. But it's going to be an interesting one. What is your TikTok username? I don't know. I didn't set it up, mate. Mr. Crosby will let you know. But there's a link in the description. If you just click into the notes of the stream, mate, you'll see the link straight to the TikTok account. How do I feel about Thiago at this moment in time? Excited. Same as when we signed him. I just want to get to watch him play. And it's not his fault that Richarlison assaulted him with that shitty tackle and that his knee has taken time to recover. I fully agree with the club's stance on making sure that he's 100% and ready to go, because we signed Thiago for a 4-year contract and not just for the first few weeks of a season. So I'm frustrated like everybody else, buddy, because I'd love to see him play, and the little cameos we've seen, he looks absolute mustard. So excited, frustrated, but mainly excited because I know we're going to get a chance to unleash him on the Premier League soon. Andy said Lazio, I want Craig in the draw to have a reunion with Lucas. It's good and how we can't watch him play. Yeah, it is, man. It is tough. I mean, Josh, alright, buddy. It's all good, man. Just wanted to make you aware for yourself, mate, as well as anything else, because I didn't want you getting removed, because I know there's no ill intent in what you do, mate. You're just a bit excited and want to get your comments read out, but it's alright. I get it. I was just trying to stop the moderators from booting you out as well, man, so don't worry about it. It's all good, Josh. 8-0 to City, said Lars. Would you rather sell Van Dijk or Koulibaly? Well, I don't own Koulibaly, and Liverpool, I already have Van Dijk, but I wouldn't swap Van Dijk for anybody. Nobody in the world. 4-0 to City, said Captain Sal. Craig, do you think MBAPPE is viable now? I hope so. I think this might be the only time that it's possible, because I don't understand how PSG have let his contract situation get to where it has. And with 1 year left, he will still command a very, very, very hefty fee, but not the same type of fee as if he had 3 or 4 years left on his deal. So I still think it's unlikely, but I think this is the best opportunity for all clubs to try and have a pop to get Kylian Mbappe if they wanted him. Wouldn't be nice to have VVD back for the round after the Champions League? It would, Carl, but I'm not letting myself believe yet, mate. I know it's February, but it's still early days there to get Van Dijk back. So I wouldn't be expecting it, but yeah, it would be lovely. Rabadan said Stevie won his Europa League group and he hopes for Rangers United. Yeah, loads of people hoping for that one, buddy. And it is a massive achievement there for Steven Gerrard and Rangers to top a group with Benfica in it as well. Credit where it's due. Fair play to them. Few people following the TikTok account. Nice one. Fair play to you guys. You're always supporting us in whatever we do. We really do appreciate it. Would love to get Porto. What else have we got? Oh, I've got a bit of interesting news for you guys, actually. I don't know if you've seen this, but the latest set of fan figures coming out of America shows that Liverpool jerseys are the most popular club shirt that have been purchased in America. To me, that's no surprise because, look, we're fucking massive. But yeah, if you go and have a little Google search for that, Liverpool shirts are selling in America more than any other shirt in the world. I think the only place where Manchester City shirts were where the most popular was Alaska. Make of that what you want. But yeah, there you go. Liverpool, most popular shirt sales in America, and it's because we're fucking massive. It's as simple as that. There you go. I love it. That made me smile. Don't care about City, said Lars Magnussen. Hate United. They can lose 10-0 every game. I'm kind of with you, mate. I despise Manchester United. At least I have a begrudging respect for Manchester United, whereas I just don't really have much for Manchester City, mate, at all. So, I also would rather see United take points off City, because I think City are still think City are our title rivals. So, a draw would be grand there, 2-2. But if somebody had to win, I'd probably not rather United beat them, because one, it might elongate Solskjaer's time there, and two, it would be dropping more points for Manchester City. No surprise, LeBron James has Liverpool ties, said Noah Murray. Yeah, damn right, pal. It's great. He has not just ties, he's a shareholder in Liverpool Football Club. Alaska, I know that made me smile as well, mate. It really did. Like, of all the places, Alaska. Carl says he thinks Origi could go to Leicester. That's an interesting thought, mate. I couldn't say yes or no either way, mate. Leicester or Leeds? Leeds could be another option. Hope everyone is alright after last night's annoying ref and VAR, said Pat. I'm not going to lie, Pat. It took me quite a while to calm down last night. Which is really odd, because as we all said, it was a game we were going into that nobody really gave a shit about, but the VAR nonsense made us all angry yet again, and yeah, then we started to care. Can you give my friend Andy Kelleher a shout out? He's a massive Liverpool fan. Of course, happy to, Gozzy. Andy Kelleher, if you're watching, mate, thank you for watching. If you're not watching, enjoy the weekend's game, buddy, and hopefully we'll get you on for a little watch sometime. But your mate says, Gozzy said to give you a shout out. Always happy to. So how are you, mate? Welcome. What else we got? At the moment, I hate United. I would really like them to beat City. That's from Arian Plays Games. That wasn't just me randomly talking again. Tottenham 1, Antwerp 0. Thank you very much for that one. Uncle Craig, bro, said Donna. Yeah, there you go, man. How are you? Welcome in. Again, though, buddy, 2 comments there in quick succession. Just relax. Did I know LeBron James supports Liverpool? I've explained, mate, already. So LeBron James had, I think it was an image rights deal or something with FSG, and as part of that deal, when they bought Liverpool, he became a minority shareholder in the club as well. So he supports Liverpool because his Liverpool shares have gone up quite substantially since he got them, man. But look, nothing wrong with having LeBron James on our side whatsoever. Who's Andy Kelleher? It's just somebody that somebody else asked me to say hello to, mate. That's all. What do I think of having MBAPPE, Jota, Mane in front? It would be brilliant, mate. That's what I would think of that. I'd be over the moon with that one. Lara said, Guy, when you see a game it's lame, feel like a preseason game, hate it. It's never screaming or stuff this season. Damn Corona. I don't know where Lars is going with that one. Fernandez to topple City, said an armchair. Well, they will get the penalty, won't they? So, they'll have that to look forward to. Jota didn't play well yesterday, said Matthew. I kind of agree, Matthew. His work rate and endeavour was there, but it wasn't his best performance. But if he is going to have an off night, I suppose, best to be in a game where there's not really anything on it, mate. And at least he didn't get an injury, so there is that. What else we got? Thoughts on Messi to PSG? MBAPPE, Messi, Neymar. I don't think that they'll keep both of Neymar and MBAPPE. Will he go to PSG? Messi? Absolutely. I could see that happening. Neymar really wants to hook back up with Messi, and I don't think that Barcelona are going to be able to afford Neymar. And Messi looks like he'll probably move on. So I hope Messi stays at Barcelona for the rest of his career. From a person that's both somebody who likes Barcelona and a massive Messi fan. But yeah, I can see what you're talking about as a possibility, but I don't think that they'll keep, I don't think they'll have the 3 of the lads there. I think that MBAPPE, I don't think he'll sign a new deal, but again, could be proven wrong. Say yes. No, mate, no, your name alone's getting you booted out. I'm not even going to read out the rest of your name because it's just you being a dickhead. Bruno or De Bruyne? De Bruyne. every day of the week. He's, to me, Kevin De Bruyne on form is sensational. So Bruno Fernandes is an excellent footballer, don't get me wrong, but it's got to be KDB for me in that one. What do I think of Eder Militao as an option for centre back? Okay, did he not go to Real Madrid? I haven't kept up on this. Militao was at Porto. Did he not go to Real Madrid or elsewhere? Again, I could be wrong on that one, mate. I just thought I had a recollection of Militao going somewhere else. Who would... I'm not doing my all-time Liverpool 11, Andy, mate. I can't do that without sitting down with a piece of paper and scribbling it down. Salah's going nowhere. Again, I don't think anybody said he is going anywhere, but, I agree. I don't want Mo to go anywhere either. An armchair said he's bored of Messi and Ronaldo retired. There you go. I'm a Man United fan and I wish you lot could experience the pain we're feeling right now. You do know, mate, we went 30 years without a league title, don't you? Like, we've been through pain. I had to sit through, and all these good folk here had to sit through Roy fucking Hodgson managing Liverpool, pal. So, whatever pain you're feeling, we felt it, mate. Trust me. Oh, we felt it. What has got? What happened to Daniel Sturridge? Don't know what happened. His contract was cancelled with the club in Turkey, and I don't know if he's still a free agent or if he's gone elsewhere. I haven't really kept track. What are my thoughts on Varane coming to Liverpool? That I don't want them. Quite honest with you, Raphael Varane is not the same player that he once was. There's too many mistakes in Raphael Varane's game. I wouldn't want him anywhere near Liverpool. But if you had asked me that question 2 or 3 years ago, I'd have bitten your hand off for him. I just don't think he's on the same level that he once was. Raptor, how are you, mate? He said, how long have you been growing your hair? This is a good 2 months now, Raptor. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you can see you coming in now, can't you? Love to the family, mate, and right back to you, buddy. Raptor is one of the OGs of Anfield Agenda, and lovely to see you back in, mate, and lots of love to you and the family as well. We felt it worse. What are these United waffles talking about? It's only been 5 years since they were good. I know, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, as I said, Roy Hodgson. We had to sit through Roy Hodgson, Paul Konchesky. Oh man, the list that we could go through of former players. Sometimes I look back at the photos of our starting 11 and just wince. Do I play Fantasy Premier League? I do, Eunice Styles, but as I always say, very, very, very badly. Thoughts on Spurs next week? Big game. Again, I think we're going to beat Spurs. I don't think Spurs will last the pace of the Premier League title race. They've had a very good start to the season. They've great players. But I think we'll turn them over at Anfield, and I think we'll be 66 unbeaten at home in the Premier League. And that's my honest opinion on it. And I'll go through it in more detail, of course, when we do our preview later on in the week. But the preview, by the way, for the Fulham game will be on tomorrow night's Late Night Agenda, so make sure you tune in for that one. I'll be going through my score predictions, letting you guys know what price that'll be on Boyle Sports as well if you fancy a flutter. And again, if you are, please gamble responsibly, and please use the link in the description to let them know that we sent you over. But yeah, I'll be doing a full preview tomorrow of the Fulham game as well. Roy Hodgson puts me to sleep. Oh gosh, there you go. The S&S show got me to loving Liverpool, said Lance. There you go. Farrell's happy to see Raptor as well. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we've seen our Uncle Raptor. Look, ladies and gents, I'm going to... Oh, Christian Poulsen. Oh, don't say Poulsen, mate. Oh, it's giving me flashbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm going to bid you all farewell for the night. I will see you tomorrow for the preview. And then don't forget, on Saturday we're going to be doing the Manchester Derby on Mundo Sporto. Link in the description for that one. That's our second channel. Again, shout out to our other accounts. I was going to just say Twitter and Instagram, but we now apparently have a TikTok as well. So on Anfield Agenda, it's just at Anfield Agenda, on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, look, like the video, have some fun, enjoy yourselves. Up the Reds. Lots of love to you all. Thank you to our sponsors, and I'll be back tomorrow and be looking ahead to the weekend. It just feels weird now that we have to wait all the way till Sunday, because football's been every 3 days, but the extra day will give us a bit of rest. So look, love to you.